Welcome to...
Fuck it.
Is that what we're going with?
Yeah, why not do
All right,
it?
welcome to the Non-Essentials Podcast. This is episode 124.
Yeah.
Going right into something interesting.
Let's hear it.
You were swallowing spit.
Oh.
So,
I was trying to get the joke out, but you beat me to it.
Actually, before you go into that, we should say all the niceties, and that's we're on YouTube, so like and subscribe. I'm told to say smash the like button and subscribe, which sounds really dumb, but
yeah.
I guess it works. Also,
maybe we could try this, like, hey Siri, like the Non-Essentials Podcast.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
And also,
hey,
might as well
Alexa.
bring up Comedy Cabin right away, cabinlaughs.com. Like, I tell everybody about it. I'm literally there every weekend. Haven't seen a bad show yet.
No.
So if you're in Janesville, get down there. Okay, now
there
I'll
we
go
go
into something. Now I'm out of the way.
You know what? I'm going to go right into this.
Okay.
Now, while I know this story is going to be theft, and I just want to say this, I'm not condoning it by any means, right? But I do want to commend the brilliance behind it. Now, there's a manager at Wendy's who was recently charged with theft by deception and arrested.
Okay.
Now, do you know what a ghost employee is?
No, I don't.
Okay. So basically, it's a fake employee.
Okay.
She created, and I didn't know that there was like a vernacular term for this one now, but she created this ghost employee named William Bright.
Okay.
All right. And clocked him in and out 128 times. Now, this 128 times happened over the course of a year, and this William Bright, this fake nobody, was paid almost $20,000.
Okay, so she was scamming, but it sounds like she was feeling like she was doing the job of two people, so she might as well be getting paid for it. I actually don't hate this idea. If you do overflow, you should get compensated. Make up a William Bright.
There you go. So, Billy Bright.
It's a bright idea.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe that's where she got it from.
Yeah.
So anyway, but the scheme was found out during an audit.
Okay.
You know, and
the fuck audits Wendy's?
well, apparently, like the restaurateur,
Dave,
right?
I
think Dave's dead.
Is he?
Maybe Wendy's.
Wendy? She has the missing fries. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love. You remember when she was the spokesperson? How many people in that room just weren't being honest with her? Like, this is a good idea.
Like, yeah, no. Wendy Thomas, please don't do that. So with that being said, the restaurateur during an audit, they notified the police, and then but I did say that because I was like, how do you pay someone, right, without like extra work, right?
Sure.
But I guess she was having the paychecks deposited into a Cash App, which is something that they do now. But again, I just want to be very clear. I'm not condoning her actions. As a business owner myself, I can relate to like the boss's frustrations. But wouldn't the scheme have gone like unnoticed if she would have thought it out just a little bit better? And I hate that my brain goes this way immediately. But I'm like, okay, but you could have flown under the radar. She flew.
Sure.
She did the Icarus thing, right? She went for big air. Like, imagine. I think if I was to do this, I would have like a sister or my mom or someone like be the employee.
Yeah.
You know. So then there's a paper trail, there's taxes or whatever. But
There's a social security number.
exactly.
Yeah,
you know, and then they come in and I clock them in and out, and you know, here and there they show up for a shift or two, right? So then that way, I guess employees are like, yeah, I worked with her.
Yeah, nobody's going to Wendy's anyway.
I mean, it really is.
Like, be honest. Who in this room went to Wendy's in the last year?
I have only out of necessity because it's
so
right
they got
next
two
to,
sales.
It's next to McDonald's, and I'm like, that line's too long.
Sure,
so I'm going to Wendy's. But anyway, so what I'm getting at is I hate that my brain immediately goes like, okay, but how could you have made this scheme better? Right? But like, I feel like, you know, if she didn't go for such big air, she probably could still be doing it right now.
Did it say what happened to her? Like, what's the fallout? It's like, is this an
just
arrestable?
happened.
I mean,
No,
it's technically theft. It's embezzlement.
Well, I mean, it's actually, like I said, the term was theft by deception. So anyway, but I figure
That's theft. Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Right. You take money by deception. You do. Okay.
Could you imagine like theft by truth? I'm going to rob you.
Be a bold approach. You must be a Biden. Sorry. No, they don't operate with truth. Come on. It's just fun to make fun of them at this point. So, fired in jail?
Well, no, yeah. So she was arrested, and so obviously, I mean, we'll keep you updated. I mean, she's probably just going to get charged.
I think William Bright is now takes her job.
I mean, honestly, what they should have done, I don't know if you remember this or not, but back in the day, like probably in like the 80s, it was like Two Live Crew, and they did the song called like Fuck Martinez.
Okay.
and because it was like it was in the beginning.
I remember this actually.
It was in the beginning of the parental warning stickers that they put on albums.
Yeah.
And I didn't write this down, but I'm just going off the cuff here. But I know that they had this song. It was like "Fuck Martinez, fuck Martinez."
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you got
it.
it. So anyway, what they did is even though it was about like that particular governor or whatever, or mayor or whomever that was like gonna die on the hill of like we need these parental warnings on these things, right?
Sure.
What they did is they literally got some random dude named Martinez to be like, oh yeah, no, this song's about me. And they so it's like you need to just find a Billy Bright, man.
That's a good sidestep.
Yeah,
actually,
just hire him.
You could say they got blindsided him.
I see this. Okay, go ahead.
This is going to the blind side?
Yeah. I could see where you're going with this blind side.
Okay. So for those that don't know, Blind Side was a 2009 movie where Sandra Bullock and Tim McGraw played a white couple, which basically adopted Michael Oher.
Sandra Bullock's white? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'm still.
She actually, I think she won an Oscar for that award too. And the movie was
people watch
huge success. Feel good story because we love football in America, especially when it's solving racism.
Yeah,
it's like the best thing to do with it. But recently, the actor Michael has basically filed a lawsuit claiming that he received
not the actor, but the real person,
the guy that the movie's actually about, who's 37,
the guy who blindsided people.
Right. It turns out he was the one who was blindsided. So I think we need a sequel to this.
Yeah.
So he claims he was manipulated into making them conservators months after he was 18, because in the movie they portrayed it that they adopted him and they were looking out for him, and I think it was I think it was Alabama or something. They got him in the door and this big thing. But it turns out, much like with Britney Spears, a conservatorship, which became popularized this year, is basically you are entitled to their likeness, their rights, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. So that's.
Didn't they do a thing with Britney? They're like, wear a yellow shirt if you're in danger. She's like, oops, I did it, in her yellow shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, people were reading between the lines thinking she was communicating with them.
Yeah.
So, and there's a bit of back and forth with this because basically he's saying he found out in February this year, but their son, the couple's son, SJ, who seems like a douchebag. I don't know if you looked into this guy, but he seems, I don't know, like the bad guy in the movie at this point. He's claiming that no, I remember that he knew about this before February.
He asked us to do it.
Exactly.
It's a verbal agreement.
Yeah. And it's one of those he's accusing because Michael just wrote a book.
Yeah.
And he's like, I find this very opportunistic. And I'm like, wonder where he fucking learned it from.
Well, what I don't understand is because when did that movie come out?
2009.
Yeah. He waited now?
Well,
why are you waiting until 2023? That's what I didn't totally understand because I knew that movie came out such a long time ago, and I saw that it was making headlines. I'm like, was there another Blind Side? Well, that just came out. How is that?
I can see with a lot of athletes, especially you focus on sports. And here's the other thing: it's you're not very legal savvy. I mean, he probably did think they had his best intentions in mind for a long time, and you can kind of operate under this guise of they're looking out for me.
Yeah, but I think that by let's say 2011, you're like, I'm still making car payments. I'm struggling. What's happening?
He got into the NFL.
Yeah.
So he got paid NFL money. So it's one of those I don't think he was exactly hurting, but I don't know if maybe he took a step back and maybe someone outside of the situation reviewed it and he's like, why the fuck are these people in control of your life story? It's like the Bob Ross thing. Bob Ross's son is fucking broke right now.
Yeah.
Anything Bob Ross related, the game, keychains, all that
There's
shit.
a game
that goes to these two partners that Bob Ross partnered with. And his son grew up poor. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think Owen Wilson just made a movie. Too bad it's not that good. But where he portrays Bob Ross, but they don't use his name at all. And I'm thinking this is a purposeful move to basically not pay these people that own. Literally, he
goes by Robert Chandler,
right? But apparently it was something on his deathbed.
We're all friends.
He was signing paperwork or something like that, which gave them the rights to all his likeness, all his voice basically. And that's where you have the painting game and.
Oh, I didn't know that there's a painting game. Man, we're going off the cuff here, but I do remember hearing that I think each episode Bob Ross did 3 of those paintings.
Yeah.
And I think it's just amazing. Then I saw another thing, and I don't know how true it is, but I saw it on the internet, and he's a French model, so bonjour. But no, I saw it where they go, Bob Ross was actually painting a journey, but it showed they did like a
I think
stop motion.
I think that was AI.
Was it?
Yeah, that was it was like zoom in and then.
Someone else fell for that then, not me.
Yeah, it was.
That was AI right there.
What I hated was there was a documentary about Bob Ross, and it was Netflix style, it's the way they normally do it, and it was like Bob Ross, everybody loves him, but then it did like the grainy film and focused on his eyes.
Until they didn't.
It came in, and I'm like, oh, who did Bob Ross rape? You know, I was like waiting, and I watched the documentary. He was fine. He was a nice guy. I was waiting for him to be like,
what a bummer.
Yeah, happy little bush. Like no one knows the secrets you hold.
Yeah, that's what the bodies are.
But it turned out the whole documentary was basically how he got his. Everything that should have been coming to his son taken away for these other people.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
well,
he got blindsided.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I guess since we made the AI joke, we'll go right into this. And I'm just gonna read the headline because it did freak me out a little bit.
Sure.
But hackers, it said hackers are now able to steal passwords by listening to your keyboard clicks.
I saw that too. I didn't read into it.
Okay, I did. So hackers have developed a technique that could potentially allow them to steal passwords by listening to keyboard clicks. The technique is a type of acoustic cryptanalysis known as acoustic side channel attack, which is a mouthful.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is interesting, but it said it analyzes the sound produced by different keystrokes to deduce the characters being typed. And by using specialized equipment and algorithms, the attackers can potentially reconstruct what keys are being pressed based on the distinct sounds each key makes when pressed. I'll be honest with you. I read that and I was like, I was like, well, no, I was like, do they make a different sound? You know, because I was sitting there like typing out and like.
I would think it would all be based around like, because keyboards are built with the most popular characters, you know, in the middle.
Yeah.
So I would imagine like almost a time between clicks and stuff like that. If they had key algorithms that like could hear you typing, much like when you speak into it, like I bet there's a difference. Like P's on the outskirts and up this finger.
Yeah, it is.
I bet there's an amount of time it takes to reach that key as opposed
especially
to like
when I'm drunk.
The H
P's on the
middle.
outskirts, big time.
Yeah, and so I imagine it's just a compiling of data to where it's like they can crack it just based off like the. You know how long it takes you to reach each key. It's like we are
just a nanosecond.
Yeah, because it's like these. It's all muscle memory. Like when you actually can type and
dude,
you're good at it.
I mean, I know that your mom was like a medical transcriptionist, so she can like.
I thought she was like 140 words a minute or so.
Yeah.
I would just, and it would like she had these medical books where it'd be, 30-letter long spellings of nonsensical stuff. So let me listen to it a few times. It's always, it's
sounds like
a
tap
different
dancing.
sounding doctor in my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you can understand this? Yeah. But that also is why I think she like every nosebleed I had, she's like, this is cancer. It was like every worst case scenario all
she was
day.
Like Mom MD instead of Web MD.
Yeah.
Oh, you farted twice.
Well,
colon cancer. So anyway, but however, I do want to say that it is important to note that this method is not commonly used with other versus like other hacking techniques like phishing or malware, keylogging, and everything like that. Right? Modern keyboards, and because like I said, I sat there and like. Hack this, you pieces of shit! Like click, 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 click.
So using a metrodome.
Yeah. So that's funny. Like ting, ting.
Yeah. You go to a beat.
Modern keyboards and operating systems often employ countermeasures to mitigate the risk of such attacks, such as noise dampening technology and encryption methods that make it more difficult for attackers to successfully steal passwords through acoustic analysis. So I think it's kind of like something that we didn't even know that, like, our laptop makers and whatnot, they already had our back on something that we didn't know was a threat.
I love how they say hackers when it's like this technology is going to have to be based off like the acoustics, which means they're listening to you. So this isn't hackers. This is what they're already doing, and they're like, but we don't know what they're typing. We can hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
So they're like, and this is the thing where I joked about it last time, to where it's like, where did the Iranian face mask detection technology come from? These hackers, again, like these are companies creating these programs to basically get data to sell.
I think that isn't that the joke that like if the app is free,
you're the product.
You're the product. But no, I think that we talked about it a few episodes back. Off the top of my head, I remember something like they're coming out with that AI that is literally going to be able to find every single picture of you posted anywhere on the internet. Remember that?
Terrifying.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, ladies, might want to tell your husband.
About that video?
Yeah, about that video you thought was buried.
No, it's like, that's AI. You know, the problem can be the solution, too. Be like, that's AI. And you're like, I use this AI program to find you. Be like, AI created that.
Well, the AI really did my best friend's tattoo perfectly on his forearm that's in that video with you.
AI's getting good. It can read the keystrokes, I hear.
So. Well, at least read the strokes.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so I have to tell you this. I'm really excited because I like to say some nerd knowledge here, and I want to thank, actually, in audience, Charlie, for being here for this, because he dropped it on us earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
He already knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But
fascinating.
Well, he's from Michigan, and obviously, listeners, you know that we're in Wisconsin, and we're kind of like, why the shit does like Michigan have that the UP? You know, instead of like,
why do they own our hat?
Yeah, exactly.
Like our Santa hat.
Yeah, nightcap. Yeah, and so then, and I hate and love the fact that Charlie's like, oh, well, it's actually good. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, shut up, nerd. So anyway, with that being said, I have a quick breakdown of why Wisconsin doesn't have like that Upper Peninsula and why that's Michigan.
I was fascinated to learn.
Do you know why it is? I know you know.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. The Toledo Strip sounds kind of like the Vegas Strip, but without
sounds
the
like
cool stuff.
Sounds like the third best strip club in Vegas.
In Toledo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so the reason why Michigan has that weird little thing across the pond, right, is because the Toledo War was a boundary dispute between Ohio and Michigan in the early 1830s over the Toledo Strip. Both states claimed it due to unclear charters, right?
How the hell did Ohio lay claim to that back then?
Well, tensions led to a battle where and I love the fact that it's called the Toledo War, right? But the only real casualty per se is there was a Michigan sheriff who was slightly injured after being hit with a penknife.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was the only like wound.
It's the most Midwestern thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's just a penknife.
Yeah.
So the conflict was eventually resolved peacefully while Ohio gained the disputed land and Michigan received the Upper Peninsula as compensation during when it entered the Union. And I read a little bit deeper into it, and I guess it was because they were like, Ohio's like, just take it. Like, just take that piece of shit land up there. And that was before they found out there was like a whole bunch like, I think copper deposits or something like that. So they're like
iron too.
Yeah, well, maybe it's iron.
Boulder's got like the biggest salt mine in the West.
Yeah,
and like that.
And I love salt mining, but it's in the comment section of like political things.
It was the last harbor before like Lake Erie.
Yeah, they were like Ohio's like holy.
This is very fascinating, but I think it's high time we took it back.
I
was laughing earlier because like when you think about it, this could be the first like intercontinental naval battle.
Yeah.
We'll meet you in the little middle Lake Michigan and settle this shit. We're taking the lake too. It's Lake Wisconsin now.
So
I don't know how you get to name everything. Like, who the fuck?
Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you, obviously, because the only thing I know about Toledo is the phrase that you probably will is
Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo.
Got anything to do with that?
Yeah,
right.
I do. And I'm glad you asked. So I guess there's a few different stories about the reason why it's Holy Toledo.
Okay.
Now, the origin stories I kind of looked into, and the one that I think is the most plausible is usually the oldest one, right? And the most well-known is that it's not about Toledo, Ohio. It's actually about Toledo, Spain, which is obviously the namesake of Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
But in the year 1085, Alfonso VI removed the Moors from Toledo, Spain, and it became a great center for Christian culture.
Okay.
So that's why it started becoming
Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo. And then the other like less known one.
Where the fuck is mackerel then? Sorry.
There you go, Batman. Yeah. Holy mackerel!
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Robin. Yeah. Holy. Yeah. So, but anyway, the other one that is like a little bit less popular, or whatever. They say back in like in 20s and 30s, obviously when the alcohol. I can't think of the
Prohibition.
word. Prohibition was in full effect.
Speaking of which,
there was we need drinks. But when the prohibition was happening, like there was this unspoken thing with like with the law enforcement and the gangsters. They're like, listen, as long as you don't fuck Toledo up, you leave us alone. And the cops are like, All right, just don't fuck Toledo up.
I never knew
So it
Toledo
became
was
this,
this important.
Yeah, well, I guess so, right? But with that being said, obviously I spun way out.
Sure.
And here's my Renee, do not stop and search on Urban Dictionary what a Toledo burrito is. Renee, do not do it.
Is it holy?
I guess
Involving?
it can be. Yeah. So there we go. So I think we have audience members doing that.
And we are back,
Yeah.
and we took a short break to refill our drinks, and I gotta be honest, we all discovered what a Toledo burrito was,
Yeah.
and there was a whole trifecta of different.
I will say, I told you to not do it. There's the Toledo burrito, Toledo mosquito, I think Toledo
There was a
fajito.
third one. Yeah, the fajito was. And
I think that we need a Toledo bandito.
Then
like
it was like the Toledo Triforce if you do them all.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was,
Trifecta or something like that.
It was real
Right.
bad.
What not Urban Dictionary thing do you have right now?
Oh, I got a game I wanted to go right into.
Oh.
And actually, I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I saw something where I'm like, I could turn this into a game. But
Okay,
this is going to
let's
be so ancient torture with the whole 2 lies and a truth. So
on.
what it's going to be is
Yeah.
one of these is going to be a real ancient torture, and the rest I made up. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, number 1. Oh, I'm sorry. The term is called figging. Okay? So, figging. Number
Does it have
1.
to do with, can I just call the shot right now?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it has to do with figs. Like, right? Figging? Like Fig Newtons?
One of them could qualify for that,
All right.
which is definitely the real one.
Okay.
Yeah, throw
Yeah.
a mystique in there.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Figging. The binding of fingers tightly with string until necrosis occurs.
I like that one, actually, because it probably looks like a fig.
Okay. Figging. Inserting a peeled skin ginger root into a human anus to generate an acute burning sensation.
I also like that one. Like it turned into... Wait, can you say that one again?
Inserting a peeled skin ginger root into a human anus to generate an acute burning sensation.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Number 3. The forced consumption of fruit until death occurs.
Ooh.
So figging. Audience, got any guesses? I think I see a 1 back there.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1 as well.
1.
But the anus one
2.
is like...
Saturday night.
Yeah, it's like the pair of despair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3.
You go
You
3?
going 3?
It's too simple.
Okay.
Okay. So the real answer is inserting a peeled ginger root.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I had a picture here too where it's just
No,
carved
a
into
picture
like
of
it's carved into like, just a ginger root.
I was thinking like your fingers look like little figs or something.
That's I was just trying to think of like weird
Yeah,
stuff.
well, you
I
did a
tried
good
Chat
job.
GPT and it's like I can't describe torture. I'm like, you fucking pussy.
Yeah. Describe not torture. And like, well, here's 17
Yeah.
fingers.
So yeah, it's basically like if you look it up, it's just a picture of a ginger root like skinned into basically
Man.
like a plug, and then which would make sense to where it's like if it just that's tough. After
I mean,
a few
I've
minutes,
had
I bet.
I mean, you eat ginger. Ginger can be spicy.
Yeah,
can
I don't
only
like
imagine,
ginger at all. Like
I love it, but if you put it in your
Little
south
bits.
mouth, I'm sure it's gonna be pretty spicy.
no, like little bits of ginger are good, but like
Oh,
but
lots
like
of bits of
you
ginger
ever
are
had
great, too,
you ever
though.
had too much where it's just like it's a weird burn like everywhere. So
Yeah.
I bet someone
That's like what
I,
happens if you got a Toledo mosquito
I think way back
weird
in the
burn.
ancient times, someone was just
and the way
having fun with a skin ginger root, and then he happened to be like a torturer guy, and he's like, I just
I don't
did some
want to throw it
homework.
away.
Yeah, King, I have a new one.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe this.
Actually, speaking of I have a new one in King and whatnot, but I do remember hearing in Ancient Torture, but I do remember hearing the origin of the brazen bowl. Do you know that?
I thought you were going Martin Luther King for a second
No.
there. Okay.
No, do you know the brazen bowl?
Yes.
Stick you in it.
They put you. So the brazen bowl is it is.
I'll put up like a YouTube picture. right
Okay,
here.
cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. So, so the brazen bowl, from what I remember, this guy created this like torture device, and he presented to this king. He's like, listen, I created this like giant like metal bowl statue, right? And you open the flap and you put the person in, and then how I've done the pipe work to come out of the mouth, it sounds like right
Right.
as a person is screaming because you light a fire underneath it, and obviously because of convection of heat and whatnot, it just literally like it obliterates the person inside the bowl.
You're only hoping there is to moo and ruin
Yeah.
it for the people outside, so they take
Just
you
start
out of it.
barking.
It's like this isn't what it's supposed to be doing.
So, but anyway, but I think the most ironic part is the king goes, yeah, let's see if it works, and threw the creator into the brazen bowl. And then so allegedly the first person to ever die from the brazen bowl is the creator of the brazen bowl.
You gotta kill people that are creatively killing people. That's like a Hannibal Lecter at that point where he's just like having fun with misery and death.
Yeah.
If you're the king, you'd be like, you're out of here. Otherwise, I'm gonna
Yeah.
end up in that thing.
Okay, so this actually is from listener V. Do you know what an A shirt is?
A shirt.
An A shirt. Not. Do you know what an a shirt?
Can you use it?
Do you know what a shirt is?
Can you use it in a sentence?
That guy over there is wearing an A shirt with chew stains all over it. I guess it's an. I'll give you a better hint. It is a tight-fitting shirt, often made of ribbed cotton.
Okay.
You may also know it as a wife beater shirt. You already knew it?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So now I hope
That's called an A shirt now.
Well, no, it's always been called an A shirt.
It should be called an AA shirt.
God damn it! All right, take two. They should be calling it an AA shirt. Am I right, guys?
Hey,
yeah. We're shitting gold over here, boys. So anyway, and again, I hope like by saying that it's called a wife beater shirt doesn't get us like flagged for hate speech or some shit, right? But so.
Sorry, as a reminder.
It's okay. So, reminder to not say wife beater.
As a reminder to not say wife beater.
So anyway, so Gen Z and their cancel culture has decided to cancel the term for the shirt and rebrand it as something else. Trendsetters.
Why would Gen Z not like the shirt? Go into it. I don't want
It's
to ruin
called
anything.
a wife beater.
I
It's
know.
not like,
I know.
It's
But
not like.
I think the shirt makers rebranded it. They're like, oh.
Well, I mean, trendsetters are like rejoicing over the new term for this like iconic dirtbag shirt.
No,
right?
don't make it more accessible. That thing is stupid. It's really like it's great for tattoos. Actually, it is. It's like it's great for shoulder work. It opens it up. You don't have to like
any
roll
new
the
listeners,
t-shirt up.
Any new listeners? Jake is the tattoo artist, so that's why So.
There should be tattoo clothing where it's just accessible. Like it should. Anyways,
yeah.
Right, keep going.
So with that being said, trendsetters are rejoicing over the new term that they've created. Right?
Shirt. Okay.
This new term it is called a wife pleaser shirt.
People that wear that don't please.
So I don't think that this is going to change the minds of the stereotypical men who wear this shirt. I think it was Bill Shakespeare who wrote, "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet."
This is going to mislead wives. This is bad for them.
I just want to say that I'm sure like some dude is going to please the shit out of his wife when she forgets dinner.
No, yeah. Look at how pleased she is.
Yeah, she pleased the shit out of her.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like just because you rebrand something with a different name doesn't make it like yeah.
Yeah. You want like a wife pleaser shirt. I'm trying to think of like just a whooped. You know what I mean? Just like a whooped person. You know, the person that's like coordinated with her. Like he allows her to dress him. That's a wife pleaser shirt.
Yeah.
A guy in a wife pleaser shirt will fix your Trans Am.
Yeah, the guy with the wife pleaser shirt might as well have like a shirt that says "I'm was stupid" as well.
Yeah, a guy wearing a wife pleaser at this point is fine being called a wife pleaser.
Exactly.
Like he's like, whatever.
Yeah, I am that.
Yeah.
The guy with a couple of dirty wife beater shirts. He also has like this shirt that says "the man" with an arrow pointing up, and then the legend with a arrow pointing to his dick.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but when I was younger and Dad had on his wife pleasing shirt,
turns out he's a son pleaser too.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna like cultivate the same need to get out of the room.
Yeah. He'd son please me every time I forgot my chores.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can I go into something that's
you may.
a bit off topic of like, so my wife came to this one and it's always really funny because she knows me too well, but she's a planner. I'm not a planner, but she told me this idea the other day and I said, this makes me look like shit. You can't do this.
She said to wipe?
No. But so what it was,
she should.
What it was is like she likes to think of scenarios and like plan for them. That's the way she is. She's great. She's the opposite of me.
Sure.
So she says to me, she goes, if I were to get a head injury, you wouldn't know how to nurse me back to health. So what if I were to like write a pamphlet of like all the nutrients and, fish oils and stuff I need, in case I was incapable of bringing me, because you would just give me pizzas and stuff like that, which I would.
Hell yeah.
But I'm
Will
like,
you nurse me back to health right now?
Like, honey,
maybe after this episode.
I appreciate the anxiety, but you can't write in case I get hit in the head book
Yeah.
without me wearing a wife pleaser shirt.
No, do you remember that lady? I think we talked about her like last year, or maybe Renee brought her up, where it was like that chick who like wrote a book on how to get away with killing your husband, killed her husband. Do you remember this?
Where there's smoke, there's fire, and especially where there's fire, there's fire.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
How
so,
obvious does a hint need to be?
Speaking of,
Why was that guy around her? If she wrote a book, How to Kill Your Husband and Get Away with It, lawyer, please.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
wife pleaser shirt
Yeah.
always.
she's just like, I'd like to change that to ex-husband. Oh no.
Yeah.
So this is actually writing from listener K, and yeah, on the East Coast, and I'm trying to be as vague as possible here because because of, not OSHA, but what is it with HIPAA, right? Yeah. So anyway,
medical stuff.
yeah. So
Okay.
I kind of I try to rewrite it a bit, but keep the zhuzh in there, right?
All right.
So he said, I was on an overnight shift as a paramedic when a call came in around 1:30 a.m. about a teenager in a bicycle accident.
That's the Toledo hour. So, anyways.
Yeah. So he had a leg injury and was bleeding. He arriving at the scene, EMTs were loading him into the ambulance while cops were frantically searching the area with flashlights. Apparently, the kid had rode downhill, hit a ditch, and a handlebar punctured deeply into his groin. While doing the initial wound check, EMTs mentioned seeing only balls, no penis.
Did they check the handlebar?
Just like a hole punch?
Yeah, because Adam had his hand cut open because he didn't have handlebars are hollow. Is that what happened here?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
So no, but that would be like ironic, right? But now he said, I have heard that a penis can be reattached if it's only been severed for a short period of time. Now, while the police were searching the area, I went into the ambulance and I saw a big set of balls with a tiny little fella playing turtle, intact and not bleeding. I told the cops they didn't have to keep searching and that the patient was still intact.
Oh, so he still had his dick?
He still has tick, but he said it was the smallest penis he's ever seen. And he said that he told the cops, he was like, you guys can stop searching. I found the penis. And
I don't want to steal your
cops,
joke.
Oh, I just want to say all the cops let out an audible, like, like all that, like, guy, like, oh my God. Like, ugh.
They literally added insult to injury.
I know. I literally, yeah. But I mean, honestly, I'll take a small one over nothing.
For what? So I'm assuming like he got hit in the balls. They swelled up, maybe.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he didn't really go into detail why the testicles were so big, but I'm assuming that honestly, like even the biggest Cheeto looks big sitting on a beanbag chair.
That's true.
Or small rather.
I remember one time I thought someone was breaking in my house when I was younger, and I hid in the sleeping bag. I'm assuming that's what's going on here.
What?
I thought someone was breaking in. And I'm like 10 or something. I'm like, I'll just be under here.
No one will find me in this.
Yeah.
Dude, didn't Jason in like the Friday the 13th? Didn't he like basically like hammer toss somebody in a sleeping bag against a tree over and over? Oh, that's funny. Okay.
I got a couple things I want to go into. So,
sorry, I'm hogging it.
All right. So there were two really big stories. I guess I can kind of be upon one really big story and one really tragic story that happened this week. So you want tragic or big?
Tragic.
Tragic. Okay. So
And then big.
the Maui Wildfires.
That's kind of big too.
The other story is about Lizzo.
I don't get it.
So the Maui Wildfires. Has everyone seen this?
Yeah.
I thought this was like a really this, not to be jokes or anything, but I thought it was a fascinating development.
Yeah, it's just like if you have like I kind of feel it because like if you've got like pineapple and Canadian bacon on a pizza and you leave it in too long, you're like, God damn it! So
exactly.
I feel like I've been to Maui recently.
That was like the one joke I had about like obviously this is a tragedy. Obviously it's awful. Obviously, the loss of life is horrific. But do you think like they have a lot of wild hogs there? Do you think like
for a moment, it
maybe
smelled delicious.
a few of them died in a pineapple field? Like a cinnamon tree fell on it, and they're just like, oh, that had to be the first time they figured out how to bury a pig. And they're just like, it's not all bad.
Yeah.
So, but the Maui Wildfires, what I was reminded of is
I was downvoted right now.
No, they're like once. Yeah. So the Maui, what it reminded me of. Do you remember growing up hearing about the Peshtigo fire in the Chicago Miss O'Leary's cow.
Yeah, Miss O'Leary's cow.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of similar to what that was because like the videos are wild.
A cow and a lantern.
Yeah, the cow and the lantern.
Yeah, was it lightning though?
So they did a lightning study, and there was lightning, but there wasn't lightning in the area, and they actually might be a class action lawsuit against PG&G power lines because they think the power lines were down from the wind, and I don't know if this has to do with like the line, the actual poles themselves weren't like secured properly to withstand winds because it's Hawaii. You're supposed to expect hurricanes.
Yeah.
And also the other thing that really was the catalyst of this is Hawaii is being invaded by multiple forms of invasive grass, which sounds really dumb, but it's a really bad problem. And they actually have a drought, D1 and D2 severe drought, and their fire risk was higher than California's when this happened. So it was like a perfect storm.
Yeah,
Speaking of perfect storm, Hurricane Dora was 500 miles to the south of this, which
Hurricane Dora said, I'm gonna wipe Hawaii off the map. The map.
Swiper, no swiping.
Yeah.
But so what happened with this 500 miles to the south, hurricanes are severe low pressure systems. But what happened also was above Hawaii, a high pressure system developed. Okay. So what you had was a lot of air moving from high pressure to low pressure. It resulted in gusts of...
Sounds like me after chilly night.
Exactly. It resulted in gusts of around 62 miles per hour of like sustained winds. So this is like not crazy winds, but strong winds, which basically just push this fire absolutely through Maui.
Okay.
And I got a horrific statistic here, and it's so right now it's the deadliest I think U.S. wildfire in history.
Really?
And it's standing at 99.
I shouldn't have said that joke earlier.
99 declared dead and like 6 burnt pizzas. But that is only with 3% of the structures searched.
What?
Yeah. So this might get like a lot worse before.
So 99 dead so far with 3%.
Right, and I don't know if they were specifically going to homes first or whatever.
Yeah,
it was like
really sad, actually.
It's tragic, and you should feel terrible.
I can't believe that you said
joke.
that joke earlier.
Yeah,
that was AI.
That pizza joke was awful.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that.
I know you did that.
And this is the biggest death toll since the Cloquet fires in Minnesota. I didn't do a deep dive on that, but I guess there was a big fire in Minnesota. Another thing that was interesting: evacuations didn't happen the way they should because in Hawaii. They have a very, very advanced tsunami warning system.
Okay.
And this was not active. They had to rely on text messages and calls, which were, do you answer phone calls from random numbers? No, everyone's been trained not to at this point.
Yeah, it's just because I'm lonely.
That's true. Actually, I was proud of my son. It was a telemarketer call, and I gave it to him, and he answered. He goes, Bob's Orphanage, you make them, we take them. He's developing a good sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
But so
it's
Maui...
like Bart Simpson.
2,200 buildings destroyed. 80 sirens were supposedly not active, and this might be in the lawsuit that's going to be going on. And I don't know if it has to do with maybe the power lines being down, power being out, but basically it sounds like because of this lapse.
I would think all those things would have like a backup battery.
You would think that, and that's what answers that need to be. But because of this like lapse, this has sent the internet going wild with conspiracy theories.
Oh, okay. Well, the Clintons did it probably.
Right, of course. And if you've seen
Maui had Epstein Island.
That's what I mean. Did they have the Epstein's list?
Yeah.
But there was one specific image of like a gas station that was like blowing up, and there was like a beam of light, they said, going straight up. But this is nothing but camera refraction.
Oh.
That's all that was going on here. But it was it's interesting to watch in real time of like, this was just a fire with a wind, but the internet can't accept the tragedy that's happened. They can't accept, so they're looking for like who silenced the alarms. I mean, like who brought all this stuff down.
It was George Bush.
So, anyways, that's my Maui story. I can't believe you made that burnt pizza joke.
I think like I said, I think it was AI. So here's an interesting one. A woman wrote into an advice column, and it may be easier just to read her quote.
Okay, like Dear Abby. That's what I remember.
I don't know. I mean, essentially the same.
Okay,
thing.
Sure.
My 7-year-old daughter is best friends with the girl next door, whose family are vegan. That's fine. We respect their choice. My problem is that recently this otherwise delightful girl was at her house scratching furiously, and I discovered she was crawling with head lice. She told me she was in the practice of combing the lice and nits into the garden where they can have their best chance of survival. And as a parent, what would you do, Jake?
Get some fucking Head and Shoulders.
Well, no, I'm saying the kid.
I'm in the spot. my kid is friends with.
Yes, best friends.
I would accidentally.
One of your children is best friends.
Listen, I understand they're vegan. I can appreciate their choice and all that, but I would accidentally be carrying a bowl of delousing material and spill it on all of them.
You'd be like every infomercial.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah. And I'd be like, oh no, your vegan values. Oh, let me wash you off real quick. Like this is a tricky predicament, and I don't like being cornered like this. I don't know what to do. It's one of those like. So you're saying the family is like. This is like when. Do you remember when Obama got shit for swatting a mosquito from PETA?
Yeah.
This feels like that, where you're just like.
Well, it's like I'm sure that if those people had, if those neighbors had tapeworms like hanging out of their ass, like like they would probably be like, oh, we're just gonna comb them out into the garden.
Sure. But to me, like veganism is about consuming animals, not about like preventing them from.
I think it's about all lives matter kind of concept where the vegans won't hurt anything, any living whatever. I mean, they don't even like eat honey, and honeybees are like, we make too much honey.
But this is where like you can't work in absolutes to where it's just like there's a detriment to the health of your child because of the louses, but also by extension, if your kid becomes the dirty, lousy kid, there's a detriment to their mental health.
Well, wasn't that a thing that we talked about with when Rory was here a few like a month or two ago, where we're like, is semen vegan? Like, can a chick take a shot in the mouth? Is it not vegan?
It's animal made.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess I'm vegan a little bit. I will reject it. I reject it on a holistic, spiritual basis.
Spit it back in.
Yeah.
Don't
mind that my alignment.
You know
with
when
it
you
being
blow
gross.
bubbles into milk?
Yeah.
I'll blow it back into the balls.
Yeah. So basically, like there.
So no, I do want to say that I think that the response from and it kind of coincided with what you just said. The response from the advice column was great.
I think I'd eat her lice.
I hate
popcorn.
that you said that. That was not a.
No, I'm
cool
saying
part,
like put it together like into like a pile, stir fry it. Keep going.
You made it worse.
Yeah.
So she suggested to allow the girls to still play together, but play hairdresser in the bathroom and remove the lice herself. And like
it's my kid's job to remove your lice.
I think the mom's job, that's what they were saying. Like, still let the neighbor girl come over. We're like, we're gonna do hairdresser and play dress up or whatever.
You can't comb lice out. There's zillions of eggs. You gotta.
I hate the fact that in the articles that I was looking this up at, like it was literally like fine tooth comb through hair, like and just egg after egg.
Sure.
You know,
I think they're gonna have a bunch of little powders next door.
Fair enough.
That's what's gonna happen.
So, did you ever get lice?
Everyone got lice.
I honestly
everyone got lice, and everyone acted like everyone else got lice.
I don't think I ever got lice.
I didn't get lice.
You never? No.
Congratulations. Anyone? My experience was.
Did you have lice recently?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
My experience was like lice was exactly like the South Park episode where everyone had it
I
and
think
everyone
you're the
acted
only
like,
one
who
here,
the
buddy.
fuck is
I
this
would
kid
say
that
I got
haven't?
it.
No, because later we found out that everyone had it, but everybody, because nobody had it at the same time because no one wanted to be like ostracized as the kid with lice.
Yeah.
So congratulations on being perfect.
Well, I just want to say this, but upon reading this article, it made me think of our former boss. Now, Jake and I, we have a tattoo shop together. We used to work together. We met at a different tattoo shop. Our employer at the time...
boss is such a loose term, but yeah.
Technically, it was our employer.
Yeah.
But with that being said, do you remember his life story?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to horrify you. So he said that, I remember him telling me this, and I was just like, why are you telling me this? You know,
Dude, he would tell me wildly inappropriate stuff.
It was like, what? You know, I remember him saying like, well, my mom wants to be a piercer, but she's got Hep C, so she can't do it, and she keeps wanting to do it. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is my life right now? Like, working for you? But anyway, I remember him saying that he lived with his grandpa, and they like shared like this dresser. Right, and they just shared clothes, and sadly, sometimes the term "clothes" also refers to the underwear drawer, and that is how he gave his grandpa crabs. Because him and his grandpa were sharing undies, and our former employer had gotten crabs.
So he had crabs to give it to his grandpa.
And then, I guess they can survive a washing or whatever. And then he folded his undies up and put them in the underwear drawer. Grandpa's like, well, these look fine. Put the skimps on, and then scratchy later.
Honestly, he was such a piece of shit. This is like though it is surprising,
It's
not from him.
Not from him. Yeah.
It's like it's par for the course.
Yeah. Anyone else like, oh, you did what?
Yeah. That's like opening up a porta potty and it's stinking. You're like,
yeah.
Be weird if it didn't.
Yeah. All right. What do you? Speaking of porta potty stinking, did you see you have bigger news?
I got bigger news.
All right.
Okay. So is everyone somewhat familiar?
Well, we talked about it a little bit, I think, on the last episode with Lizzo getting canceled right now.
So there's been developments, and this is one of those things. Like, I'll say this because, like, dude, my daughter listens to a ton of music to where it's like Lizzo honestly makes good music. It's catchy.
Can I tell you this? I don't think I know one Lizzo song, and that's a real thing.
I just know the song. I only know the song because we actually just went to North Carolina, and it was like we're driving back, and on Spotify, basically we were all picking songs. We did like the top 100, just like so the kids could be into it. I like talking about music with my kids because it's like I don't want to be the dad that's just like like Chuck, you don't watch this, so but it was like
that's Jake's dad.
Listen, the only people that were good musicians in history, according to my dad, were the Carpenters. So, and
that's
honestly,
because he likes to build stuff.
And you're not wrong. Yeah, he's just like building. He's turning a living room into a kitchen. He's like, why do birds suddenly? Anyways, so like I'll listen to music. We did top 100, and it was like so I'm listening to a lot of it, and I gotta say, like honestly, I'm listening to Lizzo coming from my position in life. It's good music. It's catchy. Whatever. She's talented. She plays her instruments.
Does she play them?
Yeah, she plays like a flute.
Oh,
She like
cool, man.
it's one of those like it's.
I mean, I respect like R&B
Yeah.
or rap or whatever. Any if you can play the instrument too, like that's
Yeah.
cool. Like actually, I remember watching the Beastie Boys
Yeah.
when I was younger. First play like the instruments. I'm like, what is this?
I wasn't allowed to.
You know, I didn't know that they could do that, and I didn't know that they did that way before I'd even heard of the Beastie Boys.
I wasn't allowed to listen to it mostly because of the name. It was like Beastie Boys. And this is the thing. It was like, I know Lizzo's a talented musician, the same way I know Ed Sheeran's a talented musician.
But which one would you
because of the way they look. Because, like, you know.
Who do you want to bang?
Lizzo.
Okay.
But, no, and, like, I mean that in, like, a weird way to where I'm like, I'm trying to be honest. It's like, let's admit the world we're in. We're in a superficial world where it's like, if you look appropriately, you'll sell. And so when I see someone like Lizzo, I'm like, she must be so talented that it overrides normal stereotypes and allows her. The same way with Ed Sheeran. I'm like, he looks so fucking dumb, but he's
an ugly man.
But he's such a good musician that it was like that it overrides normal stereotypes and kind of galvanizes him into the spotlight.
Does he have blue eyes?
I
Like
would
one blue
imagine
this
so.
way, one blue that way. I think. Like I feel like
It's also like it looks like a ginger. It looks like a ginger tree fell on him too. But
in the middle.
But he's a good musician. So I have a lot on the Lizzo thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so first of all, there was a lawsuit filed against
we talked.
Big Girl Product Touring, Production Touring.
Okay.
Okay, it was filed specifically against Lizzo and two others.
And against buffets that don't allow them to come.
I guess.
All right, I'll stop. Sorry.
Why wouldn't they allow them in?
Because
I'm going to bury Adam here.
There's a giant group of people, and they're like, listen.
There's just 18 people each time.
18? Okay. And they're like, listen, 17 or less, you can come in. Or just gratuity added.
All right, they had to hang out. So they wouldn't be allowed in the buffet? What are you saying? So anyways, so obviously everybody knows Lizzo's, I guess.
Shit.
Okay. So Lizzo is being sued by former dancers.
Okay. Yeah.
They filed a lawsuit, and I got a bunch into this. What have you heard about it? Like, let me.
So I heard something. Well, okay. So
this is very detrimental to her image too, to where it's like it's taking quite a toll.
I will say this: what I've heard is how I get most of my news is through memes, and then I look it up. I cross-reference the memes because I'm like, well, I want to laugh at this joke. So I kept seeing Lizzo and banana memes. I'm like, well, what is this about?
Okay.
Right? And then much like every Mario Kart race I've ever done, I slipped on the banana spiel and went down this terrible rabbit hole where Lizzo was making her backup dancers eat. I mean, I know that we're getting transcribed right now by, the AI.
That's fine.
That's streaming us. But the best way to say it is that she was making her backup dancers consume bananas out of the adult dancers' secret gardens.
Okay, so let's jump right into that. So
Okay.
so they were
Is that
apparently
a nice way to say it? Did we get flagged?
all right. So they were apparently at a banana bar. It's called in the red light district. In the red light
I hope
district,
they found it appealing.
right? So and that is one of the things. Is like one of them was apparently pressured to eat, and pressured's a weird word. It's where it's like, were you pressured, or did you feel pressure because you felt that like if you didn't do it, you would somehow be kicked off
Well, that's how like they Me Too'd a lot of people because they felt like, well, if I don't fuck this guy,
from a position of power, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. So that's a bit of what this is. And I'm guessing. Granted, I've never been to a banana bar, so I'm guessing you peel it afterwards. But there were also others that were taught to like catch projectiles. This seems like
Hell yeah.
this seems like part of the motif. But it also this seems like part.
Call it Kegels.
Like this is like something that this place is known for, and some of the more I guess like friends were invited to come and do.
Okay.
So I don't really know what to say to this because basically,
How would you get out of that though? I think I'd just be like, listen, I have a potassium allergy.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
so part of the lawsuit alleges that Lizzo apparently wanted the dancers, and the dancers they're heavy set, and that's kind of part of the and then I got another reminder here. They are heavy set, and they were basically scheduled to work at a grueling pace, and also they were asked to set aside dates specifically where they couldn't work other gigs.
Okay.
Right. And so this does seem like maybe there is some credence to like, hey, if you want these dancers to like set these dates for you, you should pay them for you.
Well, I actually, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go off of a little bit of a cuff here, but I remember like listening to, I think it was like the director's cut like thing, or the background speaking of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Where they were like, yeah, like we have to like as soon as we hire an extra on, we have to pay them until they're done. So like whatever the filming is for the episode, if
Sure.
they or the season or whatever, if they have that particular dude like in the background,
Yeah.
for continuity, and you know, because sometimes like you're like, why is Charlie's beard like different,
Sure.
lengths,
Okay.
right? But because it's obviously shot like months apart. But they're like, if we have that same guy in the background, we have to pay him. Whether if he worked 2 days and 6 months, we
Right.
have to pay him for that entire time. And so I'm assuming that is what you're getting at with the Lizzo backup dancers. If they're like, listen, if you're gonna book me for this a time, whether if I'm dancing or not, you're still booking me. You better pay me, right?
I do think that's a little bit fine, but let's face it here. Like let's be honest. Let's exist in reality. These girls are dancers because they were hired on Lizzo's tour.
Okay.
The whole idea was that thick girls behind Lizzo somehow spotlights Lizzo. These girls
Okay.
were dancers because Lizzo hired them.
Okay.
And this is what they're claiming is like they were mistreated because of their size and their race. And
Can I be the dick and say something for a second? And
no,
and if it's awful, I hope you cut it. But like, I will say that I think that if I was breaking the stereotype of your typical dancer and somehow able to make a living, I would probably eat the banana to make sure I could pay my mortgage.
thank you.
I don't know if I'm a dick.
No, it's
but,
not. It's
I'm
not,
like
it's not
I
a dick to say because like
but,
this
like,
is the point I was driving towards, and
if
I'm
you don't
sorry
look
to
like your typical like ballet dancer or if whatever it is, you know, even if you have, and I'm just gonna, if you have a third leg, you know, or a sixth arm, and you're somehow hired on to do this job, and you're like, wow, I shouldn't have this job, but I somehow have it. I'd probably eat the banana.
And that's the boat I reside in
an
too.
apologist or
No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's like you are not a dancer except on this tour where your specific size is
I
an
don't think
attribute.
Gwen Stefani.
Because it's like if you look at ballerinas and stuff like this, and this is the world we live in, none of these chicks are dancing on tiptoes, and that's just the facts of it. And basically, their grievances revolved around their weight, which got them hired in the first place. So this is one of those things where it's like you can't be angry about the thing that one second holds you back, but also got you the job in the first place.
Exactly.
But I will say that this is one of those things where like where there's smoke, there might be fire. To where if she was turning into like an Ellen, I've heard these stories of like people thought like Ellen, you heard these stories of her being a monster, and then it came out that she was kind of a bitch.
But you know what though?
Yeah.
Like I think if you get to a certain echelon of society to where like whether if it's a CEO or whatever, Ellen or whatever, and I'm not trying to excuse Ellen, but I'm kind of trying to excuse Ellen. But dude, if her name is literally the show. You know, if she's like, listen, I don't fucking care. This is how I want it to be. If you don't like it, you can leave. I'll hire somebody else to do it. Yeah. I mean, I don't really hate that idea.
Yeah.
And again, I guess with Lizzo, like Lizzo's like, listen, I want big girls that eat banana pussy. Like, then
thank you.
Like, then if you don't like it, get the fuck out.
That's actually the point that I was driving at all this, where it's like my underlying feeling of all this is every performer I've ever heard of, whether it be Mariah Carey, Bruno Mars, honestly, like Metallica, all these stories are about like narcissistic psychopaths. Do you know a single performer? I shouldn't know Lizzo's name, but I do. Shouldn't that by itself be proof in the pudding that something is technically different about her psychology? Where if you're walking in expecting her to be a nice person, I think that is almost like fat phobic in a way for you to assume like, oh, she's this big jolly person. No, she's probably a fucking killer. She's probably aggressive as shit.
Yeah.
Like the only person that I really like is Post Malone at this point, who's giving like $5,000 guitars away to like
But
little
don't they
kids.
usually say that, like, I mean, she's essentially a CEO, and I feel like they usually say that like a lot of CEOs are legitimate like sociopaths.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even in a negative way. They're just fucking winners, and they have laser focus on their goal. And I mean, like, clear path, motherfucker. Like, you know, that's I kind of get it.
And that's the point I'm driving at too, to where it's just like, maybe you didn't understand your job.
Yeah.
Is what this lawsuit might boil down to. Because it's like, and I'm sorry to say this, and honestly, if you're listening this long, you probably like us at this point, but a lot of this lawsuit, when you really dig into it, sounds like complaining. It sounds like complaining.
Yeah.
And maybe that's mean. Maybe that's.
I'm kind of pro Lizzo on this, to be honest with you. So
thank you. I think I lean the same way. And honestly, it's one of those like, she makes her music.
I mean, she didn't stick a finger in him. And I mean, honestly, if like she did that, I'm like, fuck Lizzo. But it's like, dude, come on. Like, I don't know. Yeah. You're given a great opportunity you shouldn't have.
This is one of those things. Like, honestly, what's the worst thing you've ever been to like peer pressure to do at a strip club?
I don't know. I did have one of my best friends in the world buy me a lap dance and have that stripper put her butthole in my face.
That was me. I don't know if I'm your best friend in the world, but I did that. Like, I might be like number 2 on that list where you're like, no, that was Jimmy.
What if you're the third person?
But I also did that. So where it's like, that was funny to me. Like, I knew what was going to happen when he went into that room. I'm like, haha, now we're both going to stink.
Here's a real story. I was like, man, which one? This is a different strip club experience with Jake. But I was like, man, which one is the real grossest one? He's like, that one's real gross. I'm like, yeah, she is pretty gross. And I like went up and like, hey, can I get a lap dance for my friend? And then Jake fucking flipped the script on me because he sat there and just like, he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I just sat there and made that chick laugh the whole time. I just kept telling her jokes. I'm like, gosh, she's supposed to put her butthole in her face.
I think I've tattooed her. She's a good friend of ours right now. Like,
all right. Well,
listen, if you keep them chuckling, they can't get really on you. That's all I'm saying.
I was just hoping for those like the laughter waves. All right, so can we get out of there? Can we get out of this? Are you done?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, we're done for now. I do think it's an interesting story because essentially, like, this is one of the first examples I can think of where someone who was popularized by cancel culture is now themselves being canceled.
Yeah. What is that Star Wars quote? You become the very thing you
I have the higher ground, Anakin.
I have the higher ground, Anakin. All right.
But please hook a line to me and pull me out of there.
All right. So what are your thoughts on a hall pass during marriage?
They don't exist.
I mean, they exist.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on it?
I don't personally think it's a good idea.
Okay. So,
let me ask you: would you like to eat the best ice cream you've ever ate once, and then never again?
What?
Yeah, you're married.
Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, I just want to say, a man on Reddit.
You want to do heroin once?
Oh, a man on Reddit. Oh, I get it now. Okay, gotcha. Okay, a man on Reddit said his wife of 10 years asked for one, but before you respond. She's dying and has only a few months to live. Now, the man said that the request made him feel betrayed and inadequate, but he also felt like he owed his wife something, like because this is like kind of on her bucket list before, so he's trying to put that before his ego. Now, she gave this whole. Now, I do want to say this is that the person she was talking about.
I don't want to interrupt you, so just keep going.
The person she was talking about was her ex.
Oh.
So keep in mind they've been dating for 10 years.
The other married,
I'm sorry,
the other married guy is he's sitting there like I see his face.
These guys they're all married.
Yeah.
So
I see them both.
They've been married for 10 years, which means that she's been thinking about this. Her ex. Right? So anyway, so she gave him this big speech, and he summed it up as this. He goes, basically, she thinks that her most physical compatibility satisfying lover was him. And I'm sure, go ahead. No?
I'm just listening.
Okay, so I'm sure he's pumped to know that she's been thinking about her ex. Well, she's getting pumped, for the last 10 years. Right, and
dude, I'd hit her with a stronger chemo.
So, and I have a quote here. He said, "Honestly, I'm so pissed off and betrayed that she asked this of me. I feel like I'm put in this position where I have to say yes because she's dying."
No,
and he said, "I'm not sure how I feel about this." Go ahead.
Well, I guess the one silver lining for this, and this is very macabre. This is a terrible thought, but
Man,
this
I hope
is
you
the
don't
only.
steal my joke.
Well, I might. So just keep going because finish it, and then
All
if we might get two good jokes on
All right.
this.
So anyway,
Because I have a joke.
I was sitting there thinking, you know what? I'm not sure how I feel about this. I know I would be a bit insulted, right? But I guess she did ask, and I feel like a lot of people, men and women, would just fucking do it and just keep it a secret, right? And he did say that her health is declining very quickly, and soon she'll be confined to a wheelchair. And I was thinking, all right, I'd be all right, after the wheelchair, then he could do it, right? But all joking, as conflicting as my feelings are, I guess no matter what, in 9 months, he can sleep with all of his exes too,
Yeah, but he can sleep with all of his exes with his wife's medical bills.
Oh.
That's not to be the dick here.
I think I would actually, you know what? You just made me think of something. Would it be a good idea financially?
Dude,
I
would wear the old wife beater.
Hold on. The old wife pleaser. So this is actually you just made me think of something. If my significant other was getting divorced, was dying, right? Had just unimagiable amounts of medical bills, right?
This might be court documents.
No, go for it.
No,
it's okay. Go for it. Or if it was me on the other side, I think that I would maybe legally divorce my significant other.
Sure.
So then they weren't stuck with the medical bills, right?
That's a common thing.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Damn, I thought I just came up with the loose hole.
I think
Dude,
banks even find a way.
I was send that Wendy's manager my way. I got some fucking scammer info for you.
Dude, I look at guys on their way out to where I'm just dude, that whole raffle be who should I drag out of this world with me? Send me your best pedophile. I will glom onto them. Yeah. I will Gran Torino them. Right out of this world. So, death does funny things to people.
I mean, like I said, now I'm not making this. It's just an awful scenario. I think it's kind of shitty of her to ask, but also not shitty of her to ask because a lot of people just do it. But also it's kind of insulting, but also it puts them in a super weird spot, right?
Can I
and
do
I'd be cool, man, you just sullied the last 10 years of our relationship and any sexual closeness I've ever felt with you, knowing that you were thinking about this other dude's dick in you.
Can I ask you
maybe I'm just
let's do a quick thought experiment.
Sure.
Let's reverse roles.
Yeah.
Let's say you are with your wife.
Yeah.
And you're dying, and you have to ask her if you can fuck your old ex.
Okay.
Is there any world where you don't see her going psychotic?
No world at all.
Right. So I would say the only
and you're my ex, Jake. What are you
honestly, the only silver lining I would lie to myself. I'd be listen, that's really nice of you to make me try to hate you, but I love you. I would just ignore the request.
Oh yeah. You're so silly.
Yeah, I'd be and I would block your Bluetooth so you couldn't send a text message, and I'd be you're in the room.
You're listen.
Yeah.
Why don't you just get in the pond if you're gonna keep being such a silly goose?
Yeah, where it's like, this is really nice. You're trying to like soften it. I get it. You're gonna try to pretend to fuck your ex so you make me feel, but I would refuse to acknowledge.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
All
You'd
the
Gale
way.
to snail them.
Yeah, all the way.
You guys want
out
to do
of
some
this world.
shots?
Yeah.
Like, got here, snail.
So that's a horrific scenario, and honestly,
I want to know your take on it.
that's my take.
Oh, that's your take?
My take is I don't know what my take would be. It depends on the scenario. I would lie to myself and be like, listen, I understand you're trying to make me forget you, so I move on by being a cunt.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would
Yeah.
definitely, for me, it would like kind of sully my memory of you.
I'm just saying, like,
really?
I'm trying to like
Right?
flip. I'm trying to flip the scenario, and if I was dying, if like I was gonna close my eyes and the sweet nothingness that existed 16 billion years before I was alive was gonna happen, the last fucking thing I would think was I was gonna insult the fucking
person
mother
who's
of
been there.
my
Yeah.
children
Yeah.
on the way out of this world. No, I'd be like, that's
You're
when
the best. You're the best ever.
dude. That's when you lay on the fucking Woodman's.
Yeah.
You know, novel when you're waiting in line, that romance. You know, you see those books when you're a kid. You're like,
agree.
what did he say to her? You know, they're embracing. That's me, and I think it's completely selfish. If it's true, I think it's completely selfish,
Yeah.
and I think God gave her cancer to get this woman out of this man's life. And I hate to be so terrible about that.
So you hit
but
some nice ass
but
instead of that bitter bitch.
if that's a real true statement where she's like, I've been married to this guy for 10 years, but I just want to fuck my old guy one more time before I die, I would be like, you deserved it. Maybe that's the hurt husband in me. So there's a married guy nodding in the audience here. So
I'm gonna say something that you should probably cut. I don't know if I've ever really shared the story. You know,
you've never shared the story. It's really weird you're doing it right now.
Yeah.
I would have filled her up like a boat leaving Elrond.
Yucky.
Over the horizon, just like, you know.
Anyway, but that's a real story. So, all right. So I'm gonna, speaking of real stories, I'm gonna go into a real law here. I'm gonna get us out of this.
Oh, funny laws.
So,
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games.
So I was really excited because we actually have a gentleman here who is in law enforcement. All right, so
I'm walking home
because of this. Yeah, so or we just isn't the cheat code to like have like AAA and then you just like call the AAA tow to take you home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We thought our way around you, sir.
Yeah. So he was like, "I am AAA." He's like, he just rips it, like Scooby-Doo moment.
Yeah.
Meddling kids. All right, so this is going to follow the same algorithm as all of our games here, where one of these is a real Wisconsin law. All right? Yeah, real Wisconsin law. The other two, the bullshit.
Like
I wrote them up. I wrote them.
UP laws.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
number 1, it is prohibited to water your lawn in such a way to annoy your neighbors.
I hope that's a real law.
Number 2, it is prohibited to inscribe accusatory statements using sidewalk chalk on your neighbor's property.
Okay.
Number 3, it is prohibited to display political yard signs depicting fictional candidates. Now, if you want a little teaser trailer,
Sure.
it's a law in Sheboygan. So I'm not sure where it falls in your jurisdiction, but this is a real law in Sheboygan. I'll read them again. Number 1, it is prohibited to water your lawn in such a way to annoy your neighbors. Number 2, it is prohibited to inscribe accusatory statements using sidewalk chalk on your neighbor's property. Number 3, it is prohibited to display political yard signs depicting fictitious candidates.
So it's a Wisconsin law, which means
Sheboygan,
politeness is involved. I would think that the actual the third one where you actually name candidates is a step too far. You can't vote for Foghorn, Leghorn.
I said both.
Yeah. But I do think there was possibly someone's sidewalk in front of their house where it's oh, don't vote for him. He's a rapist. With chalk. So I'm gonna go with number 2.
I'm gonna say
2.
You're
with
going with
one.
number 1.
I might change my answer to number 1 since the law says number 1.
All right, so the City of Sheboygan's Municipal Code 70-153 states that no person shall, with purpose or intent, sprinkle property in manner to distress or annoyance others.
What?
You can't water your lawn.
I know
in Sheboygan.
Wisconsin is polite, but god damn it!
Did you know that?
So I
All right,
can't
well,
run
you know
my
what?
I
You're
can't
a
run my
great cop,
sprinkler
man.
at night.
You're a great
is that
cop.
what this is?
Yeah, if you water your lawn in Sheboygan,
Just right at their fucking
and
master
annoy-
bedroom window.
I don't know what it is. I think that's just watering their window, not
That's
your
true,
lawn.
yeah.
But if you water your lawn in Sheboygan in an annoying way, you can get charged for it.
I think
It is
watering
literally-
your lawn is annoying. Period.
Municipal
So,
code 70-153. So,
God damn.
isn't that funny?
The
You
thing
got
was-
it, dude. It's not hard to believe.
the thing was, I was like, you're in Wisconsin. Politeness is like in the DNA. I remember one time my son was 2.5 and he tripped and he goes, oh. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
Oh no, that's deep. That's in the DNA. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So I can write that they're a rapist with chalk.
Apparently, yeah.
That's fine. All right.
Allegedly. So,
All right. Well, that's interesting.
well, thank you very much.
God bless Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get that UP. That's gonna be ours. So.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is episode 120. This is Over Your Dead Body. We're gonna do UP. Yeah. Listen, you're in the home county.
So we're at episode 124. Should 125 mean something? I don't want to eat anything spicy. Let's do sour. Let's do sour.
Jake is gonna take a
Sour.
suppository of a Carolina Reaper. Yeah, a ginger root. Oh fuck!
Oh.
Good callback.
Figging. Figuring out the next episode.
Oh man! As long as you end the fig with a A and not a ER, that's fine. So I am Adam Riley. This is episode 124.
I'm Jake
I'll let
Figging
you,
Bussy.
Yeah, I'll let you catch up to that joke. And honestly, if you are listening to this, please make sure you don't wear your wife beaters. Put on your wife pleasers.
Well, wife pleasers. Yeah, thank you. so
There we
much.
go. And honestly, drink Dead City coffee.
I don't think he's gonna pay us. I mean, he doesn't pay us at all.
Later, boner.
You met me at a very strange time in my life.